another HBCU review. Brought to you by HBCU Live.
Welcome to another edition of HBCU Live. This week's show begins at Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Everybody in a serious mood in Winston-Salem. The Rams playing host to Tuskegee. SIAC Power versus CIAA Power. And CI strikes first. Mustafa Green scores from 24 yards out, and SU takes a 7-0 lead. Rams looking for more. Rudy Johnson trying to go deep. Ken Hike, look at the beautiful over-the-shoulder catch for the interception. Tuskegee is now in business. Kevin Lacey would come up big for the Golden Tigers. Rolling out to his left, he finds Travis Hawkins. Hawkins with room to run, and he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Tuskegee. We're tied at 7, and Bowman Gray Stadium is rocking. Alejandro Suarez comes up with a field goal. That gives SU a 10-7 lead. Then the defense will step up from Winston-Salem State. Demetrius Smith with the tackle for loss there. Tuskegee gets a drive going just before the half, but Kevin Lacey gets caught being greedy. Lakevius Battle, the right man in the right place at the right time for the Rams. This INT kills a Tuskegee drive, and we're tied at 10 at the break. In the third quarter, just good old-fashioned tough football between the tackles on the part of the Rams. They simply stuffed the ball down Tuskegee's throat on this drive. Phillip Sims from a yard out. Touchdown, Winston-Salem. It gives the Rams a 17-10 lead. Now, Tuskegee wouldn't go away without a fight, figuratively or literally. This is Lacey to Larry Cobb. Cobb becoming his favorite receiver. Another big play by the Golden Tigers. They can't punch it in for the touchdown, but they do get the field goal by Trevor Wiley to make the score 17-13. But that's as close as Tuskegee would get because SU was Ram tough in their house. You're just not going to beat Winston-Salem State in Bowman Gray Stadium. Maurice Lewis caps another scoring drive off with a touchdown run here. SU goes to 2-1 on the young season, getting a hard-fought win over Tuskegee. Final score, 24-13 in favor of the Rams. Let's check in on the old head coach for the Rams, Connell Maynard. He's now the head man in charge at Hampton University. The Pirates looking for their first win of the year as they take on Miles College. Demetri Price to Antonio Pitts. That's a touchdown. Golden Bears jumping out to the quick lead at Armstrong Stadium. But Brian Bailey and company come back. Bailey finds Morris Brailsford. Nice touchdown reception there to tie the game at 7. Then it would be the Hampton defense stepping up in a big way. Miles on the drive, but Price's pass is picked off by Breon Key. Key's pick, putting an end to a possible scoring opportunity for Miles. We're tied at 10 at the break, but the second half would have plenty of fireworks, and Jory and Washington would get things going for Hampton. Nice run here, getting the Pirates into the red zone. Then Washington caps the drive with a touchdown run. Hampton up now by a score of 17-10. The defense comes up with a big play here, but Miles would drive down the field, and before you know it, we're tied at 17 thanks to this touchdown run by Jamarcus Hill. But Brian Bailey came up with the big plays when it counted for the Hampton Pirates. That's why he's the MEAC Offensive Player of the Week. 19 of 34 passing for 289 yards and 3 touchdowns. You saw the connection there to Saquon Gooding. Now Bailey connects with Rayshon Proctor, and that gives the Pirates a double-digit lead. Miles would put up a fight, trying to make this game close in the final minutes. Price and Pitts, that 1-2 punch connects for another touchdown for the Golden Bears. Later, Price is going to run for his life in the final minute of the game. Evades the Pirate rush and finds Michael Ross in the end zone. That'll make the score 34-30, but that's as close as Miles would get. Connell Maynard gets his first victory as head coach of the Hampton Pirates. Back to the CIAA we go, down to Fayetteville, North Carolina. The Broncos looking for their first win of the year, but CIAA rival Virginia Union had a little something for that early on. Dominique Roan with a sack of Derek Bryant. That puts the Broncos in punt formation. That bad snap goes out of the end zone. It's a safety. VUU jumps out to a 5-0 lead. Later, Devin Epps with a sack. The Panther defense roaring early. Hey, but Fayetteville State can play some defense too. Look at Michael Johnson get the strip, didn't recover the fumble. Fayetteville State is in business. They've got a chance to get on the scoreboard and go into the break with a halftime lead. Derek Bryant leads the Broncos down the field, but this pass gets picked off by Charles Davis III. Look at the nifty moves that Davis makes as he works his way down the field. Now VUU is in scoring position, and they get a chance to pad that 5-point lead. Somebody's got to come up with a big play for FSU. Michael Johnson was that man. He gets the pick just before the break, and we go into halftime with Virginia Union holding on to a 5-0 lead. But in the third quarter, more special teams troubles for Fayetteville State. Jabari Neely blocks the punt. Donovan Stephen recovers in the end zone. Touchdown VUU. It's 12-0. Finally, Bryant gets the Broncos into the end zone, connecting with Ricardo White here. That trims VUU's lead to 12-10. And in the fourth quarter, we've got plenty of drama because the Broncos are on the move again. Check out this touch pass by Bryant. Beautiful pass. FSU gets inside the Virginia Union 10-yard line. They can't get into the end zone, but Antonio Mayo's field goal gives FSU the 13-12 lead. Now the defense has got to come up big for the Broncos to get their first win of the year. But Virginia Union comes up with trickeration. Shaheem Dowdy to Jussie York. A flea flicker to Linworth. Lennon, touchdown, Panthers. The 40-yard connection gives VUU a 19-13 lead. Then on the next possession, Jerome Robinson bounces off several would-be Bronco tacklers, and he's down the sidelines. A 60-yard touchdown run to put this game on ice. Virginia Union wins its conference opener over Fayetteville State. Final score in this game, 25-13. The Broncos still looking for their first win in 2014. Let's head west now to Montgomery, Alabama, home of the Alabama State Hornets. ASU trying to stay unbeaten on the young season as they hosted Arkansas Pine Bluff, and the Hornets looked good early. Malcolm Cyrus may be the best running back in black college football. That touchdown run by Cyrus gives the Hornets a 7-0 lead. Cyrus was just getting warmed up, folks. This is touchdown number 2. It's 14-0 now in favor of the Hornets. UAPB's got to make something happen or they're going to risk getting blown out. Nice drive going here. Sets up a possible field goal attempt, but it gets blocked. And things spin out of control for UAPB from that point on. Daniel Duhart, Alabama State's outstanding quarterback, finds Demario Bell. This pitch, catch, and run covers 68 yards for another ASU touchdown. 21-0 Hornets at the half. The home folks have plenty to toot their horn about, and things would not change in the second half. Look at this tough run by Khalid Thomas. Alabama State running at will against the Lions defense. There's that man again, Malcolm Cyrus. An 11-yard touchdown run. Touchdown number 3, 28-0 ASU. This may be Cyrus's best run of the night, and it wasn't even for a touchdown. Bounced off several UAPB tacklers, taking the ball inside the 10-yard line. He didn't get the touchdown there, but Khalid Thomas had his back. Thomas with the touchdown, 35-0. Everything going right for Reggie Barlow's Hornets in this affair. The end around to Joshua Davis. He cuts it back. We wouldn't show you this if he didn't score a touchdown. You do know this, right? 63 yards, 42-0 Hornets. Can ASU defense get the shutout? That's the only question now. Not quite. Benjamin Anderson, Marvani King, 79 yards later, the Lions are on the scoreboard. But this was a night for the ASU Hornets. Alabama State still unbeaten after the big win over UAPB, 42-7. Now we stay in the SWAC, going deep into the heart of Texas. A cat fight between Southern and Prairie View. Something you haven't seen since 1967. At least from this standpoint, it's the first time Southern had played at Prairie View since 1967. Leonard Tillery celebrating the occasion. Nice run there. Sets up a touchdown from Austin Howard, the quarterback, keeper. Give him 6. It's 17-7 in favor of the Jaguars. PVAM comes back. On the ensuing kickoff, Jonte Herbert, who had a huge game for the Panthers, fakes the reverse, takes it down the sideline, 68 yards he would go. He also had 133 yards rushing with a touchdown. This return sets up a field goal for Prairie View, and that would make the Southern lead 17-10. But the Jaguars would be too tough on this night in Prairie View. And the big reason why? Leonard Tillery. 24 carries, 135 yards, and a touchdown. And he shows you part of the reason why here. Running to daylight, finding a crease, and taking advantage, getting tough yards. Austin Howard beat the Panthers with his legs. He also beat the Panthers with his arm. Nice pass here to Dylan Beard. Beard does the rest. That gave Southern a 31-10 lead. They would go on to cruise to the 34-24 win over the Panthers. Okay, let's head to Itta, Mississippi, an in-state rivalry game. Alcorn State and Mississippi Valley State in the house that Jerry and Willie built. A lot of people like the Braves and their chances to win the SWAC East Division title. John Gibbs to Darren Ragsdale. Pitch and catch sets up an Aaron Baker touchdown run. Later, Ragsdale gets it done himself. This touchdown run makes it 14-0 in favor of Alcorn State. The Alcorn State offense was clicking on all cylinders. Brandon Vessel with a nice play here sets up another touchdown. Not a whole lot of highlights for Delta Devil fans, but I did pull this one out. Jarrell Moore with a nice play. MVSU couldn't score on this possession, but they do score later. Patrick Ivey with a bomb to Tavis James to get the Delta Devils on the scoreboard, but John Gibbs and company just too much. Gibbs is one heck of a quarterback. He gets the touchdown here. Alcorn State with the surprisingly easy win over their in-state rival. Final score in this game, 52-9 in favor of the Braves. But hey, the Delta Devil, you're still good with me, brother. You're still good with me. The HBCU Live scoreboard so you can see how your team fared last week. You're seeing so far in HBCU Live, plenty of opportunities available, sponsorship opportunities in fact. Get in on the ground floor and help HBCU Live become the pulse of black college sports. Contact us at hbculive@aol.com or give us a call at 704-609-7157. We would love to hear from you. That'll do it for this week's show, but we've got a whole schedule of games for you coming up next week, including a big showdown in Winston-Salem between the Rams and Elizabeth City State. We'll see you then.